And more useless celebrity news. Levi Johnson has revealed the cover of his new book, and it's really exactly what you think it'd be. Well, now we've made a new list. We are one of the fittest cities in the nation.
We were #1 last year, though, so we dropped.
What happened? I did stop working out a little bit. I did. I think I brought this city down.
And school officials even stopped us because they say anybody they don't recognize, they want to know who they are and why they're near the school.
A police pursuit on the Beltway caused big traffic problems over in Prince George's County.
Hey, I just spoke with the parents of these brothers. They just got back from the hospital this afternoon. We're hearing all the people that were involved. All 3 people knew each other, that there was some big argument earlier this morning, maybe even late last night.
That's why I chose to wear black today.
I was going to say, nice color choice.
You know, feel this though, it's very thin. That's why. That's why.
You're so...
And it's fashionable. You know these things for ladies is fashionable, but guess what? Air.
Cut it out thing?
I did it with Joey. I'm showing my age.
That's crazy.
Thanks for
Oh yeah,
being here.
you're so old.
I'm so
old. Over the hill, it's over.
Too hot to barbecue. So I just
Never
went
too
out.
hot to barbecue.
It was too hot.
You throw the husband out there and you wait inside with a cocktail.
Okay.
That's what you do. That's what you do for the 4th of July.
Next year I will remember
There's your
that.
plan. At least 30 people were arrested outside Quantico Marine Base during a protest about the treatment of alleged WikiLeaks whistleblower Bradley Manning. Free Bradley Manning! Manning is being held in solitary confinement, and officials admit the Army private is forced to strip naked and wear a so-called suicide smock each night. President Obama and military leaders call the conditions justified. Police pursuit on the Beltway caused big traffic problems over in Prince George's County. The chase happened in the southbound lanes. It shut down traffic for about an hour last night, just before the Ritchie Marlboro exit. There's word that someone was hurt in that incident. The lanes reopened around 10:30. The death toll from the earthquake and tsunami in Japan could top 18,000. Police say nearly 8,700 bodies have been recovered since March 11th. Nearly 13,000 people are still listed as missing. Officials say lists of the dead and missing may overlap, and some unidentified bodies may match names on the missing list. Sine, American ships and aircraft pounded Libya overnight, taking out radar, communications, and missile sites. The U.S. plans to turn over control of the Libyan military mission to a coalition led either by the French and British or by NATO in a matter of days. Emily Schmidt has the latest.
For Ralph Macchio, just because as a little boy, wax on, wax off, baby.
Exactly. You know, I'm hoping for Kirstie Alley. I know that's not the popular one, but she's had a lot of bad press lately. I just hope, she could shine, because I think people have been mean to her.
Well,
that's all I want to say. Well, okay, time now for traffic and weather. You got here in the nick of time. Well, you guys can see what happens behind the scenes here.
Moving.
Because we're just making sure we're up to date.
Waking up, too.
Well, he made America laugh with his funny impressions and comical character Uncle Joey on the hit show Full House. I watched it every TGIF. Now he's taking on his audience in a more personal way as he takes to the stage for his stand-up routine. Of course, I'm talking about Dave Coulier, who will be performing at the Arlington Draft House this week. How are you?
I'm good. Thanks for having me here.
So does anybody call you Dave?
Well, my mother, when she's mad at me, calls me David.
Oh.
David.
Are you sick of people coming up to you and saying Uncle Joey? Because we know you as that. We love it.
No, not at all. It just kind of comes with being on a great show, and we all still see each other. I was chatting with John Stamos last night, as a matter of fact. We all still keep in touch and hang out. And
so what was said, you and John last night?
Yeah. He wanted to know where I was at. Where are you?
That's all the details?
That was about, well, because we were chatting other people.
All right, one family has captured America's hearts. You know the show on TLC, 19 Kids and Counting? Well, we have 2 of them. The mom and dad are here. Jim Bob and Michelle Duggar are here, minus the 19. Well, it's 20 now, isn't it, guys?
19, and then plus our granddaughter, and we're having a new grandson.
I didn't know how it counted now, if you count that in it or not. You guys are a busy family. You're in D.C. this week because you have a new book. We're going to get to that in a second, but it must feel good to be kidless.
Oh, well, I'm actually really looking forward to getting home. I am really missing the kids, but it's been good to be here. It's been nice.
You know, the big question everybody said, they said when they heard you guys were coming on, they said, you got to ask Michelle, do you have any news? I know you do the news on the Today Show. Any news that you want to share? Let's get this out of the way.
Not yet, but we would love to be able to say that we did, but we don't yet. It's pretty recent.
Now, you guys are like seriously exhausted because you've been up since what, 3 a.m.?
No,
we're fine. We're good.
We're good. This is just the high life of partying.
We slept
Hollywood,
right there.
Yeah. But seriously, when you work together like you do on roles like that, you're always around each other, it seems like you kind of like each other.
We kind of have to.
Yeah.
We spend more time with each other than we do with our families when we're working. So if you don't like the guy that you're working opposite, it makes for long days.
Did you know each other before this?
No, not really. We'd met for 10 minutes 10 years ago in an airport. That sounds weird, but we did.
Especially when you're talking about it in D.C.
Yes.
So tell us more.
No, literally, we were both catching 2 separate flights.
To answer my tough questions that I've assembled right here.
Absolutely.
No peeking, because Brendan, you always peek. You're a peeker. You got to stop. First off, you know what we're going to start with. We can't ignore this Wienergate 2011. Help me now.
This guy is a bonehead. I don't.
Nice choice of words there. Yeah. Let's talk about this. You tweet, right? You do Facebook. I think people need to know how to use that first off. If you're over a certain age, you need to know what the button means when you hit send or share before you do it. What do you think went wrong here? So we've been doing it privately.
Yeah, I mean, I think, honestly, I think on some level he really wanted to get caught because if he's been doing it for several years already, I mean, he knew what he was doing.
Interesting. You think he needed to be caught, or at some level
there was a certain level of hubris. There's a point where he was just like, I mean, I don't think he was thinking this consciously, but on some level, yeah, I think he just wanted to be caught.
That it needed to stop. But there's so much at play here that he could lose. His wife, he's lost all credibility, he looked to be the best candidate for the next mayor of New York City. Well, we'll see how that goes. And there's just the whole thing. Now he's being looked into for, violations, ethics violations. Allison, I just spoke with the woman who says she was stuck inside her apartment during this fire. She says all she could do was cry and pray.
And all I could then see was darkness. And I truly didn't know whether I was going to live or die.
Loretta Battle is wearing the only clothes she owns now. She just got out of the hospital after firefighters rescued her from her 3rd-floor apartment in New Carrollton last night. She was holding her 1.5-year-old granddaughter.
I held my grandbaby outside the window. At first I put a pillowcase over her face, and she was gasping for breath so desperately. Nose running, panting for breath, and all I could think of was to hold her out the window.
Meantime, Ebony Brown was inside her apartment with her 2 children. Both of them could hear people yelling to get out.
I grabbed my phone and my keys and just ran.
120 people lost their homes when firefighters say a heating and air conditioning system malfunctioned, causing the fire. 4 apartment buildings at the Southern Walk complex were destroyed. Nearly $250,000 in damage. Battle's granddaughter was pulled from the fire first.
And my intention wasn't to throw her, but if I had to, I think that I would have. To save her life if I couldn't save mine.
Through the thick smoke, firefighters found this 2-month-old kitten gasping for air. Its name is Cora and belongs to 6-year-old Michaela.
I think it was nice for them to get my cat.
Such a good reunion there. Right now, everybody's okay that was in that fire. Everyone that had to be rescued is doing okay. Everyone's accounted for. In the meantime, more than 100 people, close to 120 people, staying here at the Best Western in Lanham until they can find another place to stay. Sine, this is difficult for people out here because so many young lives are affected. The driver of that car arrested now, being held in jail without bond. 2 crosses are marking the place where 2 young students were killed.
I feel bad that this all had to happen.
Police charged the driver of the car, 18-year-old Christopher Suarez, with reckless driving. It was 1 month ago today. 4 teenagers were inside this car when it struck a deer and slammed into a tree on Log Mill Road near James Madison Highway in Haymarket. Police say speed was a factor in the wreck, and they say no one was wearing their seatbelts.
There should be consequences for things that people do, and at 18 it's a good time to learn that there is a consequence for what happens.
15-year-old Kendra Tucker was killed instantly. 15-year-old Savannah Moratitis died when her family took her off life support. 2 other teenagers were also hurt. The crash was the second time 2 teenagers were killed in a car wreck from Battlefield High School in just 8 months.
You have to be responsible for what you do, and I guess, I wouldn't really want to say anything about it, but you have to be responsible. And he was an adult in the situation.
A dangerous hill along Long Mill Road will be flattened soon. Prince William County supervisors voted to implement the safety measure this week.
It's a bad thing when anybody dies, but, still the young kids are the worst part.
On Wednesday here at the high school, Prince William County Police are holding a safety presentation for students, even parents who want to come here and learn about safety on the road. That will be Wednesday at 7 o'clock here at Battlefield High School. Allison, we're hearing all the people that were involved, all 3 people knew each other, that there was some big argument earlier this morning, maybe even late last night. We're also hearing that 2 of the people that were stabbed, a man and a woman, were in some sort of relationship, maybe a boyfriend and girlfriend, who lived in this 3rd floor apartment.
Nick Parisi lives just 2 floors under where his 49-year-old neighbor was stabbed to death. That's really close.
It is.
Being a part of the neighborhood watch group, Parisi keeps track of who comes and goes in the Eldon's apartment complex on Braddock Springs Road in Centerville. Parisi says he gets up every weekday morning at 3 a.m.
I hear the same truck start at 5:30, but today I hear one started at 5 after 5. That's strange to me. Then the one at 5:30 that goes to work every day, he went out at 5:30.
Police say 2 others were also stabbed, a 52-year-old woman and a 53-year-old man. The woman was found bleeding outside of this 3rd floor apartment.
We just moved here too, so we heard that this is a safe neighborhood, stuff like that, and then if something like this could happen, then it makes you think twice about it.
This is the 5th murder in Fairfax County this year. There have been break-ins in the past, but nothing this violent has happened in this complex that is filled with children.
Since we've been walking around for about 2 years now, nothing's been happening. This is the worst I've seen so far.
Now, at this point, police aren't telling us who these people are or were, still trying to talk to family members to explain to them and even let them know what has happened here at this apartment complex. Right now, there's 2 people, the man, the woman that I just mentioned, who survived the stabbing, are still in the hospital, police say with life-threatening injuries.